Okay, so again, what we have to understand as coaches and as players is that tennis is a game of making mistakes. Of course, we don't want to make mistakes, but it's about mistake management. So if it's about taking calculated, sensible risks, it's really, really important that we actually get that into our practice and we have the courage as coaches and players to recognise that we actually need to take balls on and need to practice that. So if I'm taking a coaching session, it's not about me trying to make that coaching session or that player look perfect, because that isn't the game. Okay, it's really, really important. If that player is going to get better, of course they've got to come across having success, but also at the same time they've got to come across maybe not making every single ball as well, because obviously they're trying to take a few more risks. So it's really, really important to have that balance of success and areas to improve on when you're developing a player, whether it's you yourself, the player, to have that mentality, or whether it's the coach trying to instill that into the player. Because like I say, very, very important that tennis isn't a game of never making a mistake. We're aiming not to make a mistake, of course, but at the same time, we've got to recognise that if we're going to be competitive at a higher and higher level, then we're going to have to take some risks at the same time. So tennis isn't a perfection sport. That's one thing we have to understand. You have to just switch on and watch the very, very best players in the world play, and you will see errors. Okay, and the reason why there are errors is not because they're necessarily playing terribly. It's just purely because it's the nature of the game. You've got to take sensible risks. You've got to play with courage. You've got to play with confidence, and you've got to try and find that balance between not making too many errors, obviously, but also at the same time, you've got to make sure that you are still being competitive in your play and not becoming a negative player. And especially in junior tennis, it's very, very simple to sort of like become a little bit nervous and negative and just start pushing balls in, rather than actually having the courage to take balls on. So really, really important to understand that to get better, you're going to have to make mistakes. It's not just a simple scenario of a graph just going straight up.